He wrote out the storm from his family home on Long Beach Island, where conditions, he says, are still in very, very tough shape. He's joining us on the phone right now. You're in New Jersey. You sent us some video as well. Ben, tell us what happened, where you were, and what you saw.
I was in Barnagate, New Jersey, which is the northernmost municipality on Long Beach Island. And last night, I think that I saw the full brunt of the storm. High tide here last night happened at about 8:20 p.m. At that point, the bay water from Barnagate Bay to the west of me rose up onto the adjacent street and sort of into the neighborhood. It was tough to get the exact depth because it was dark, but I'm thinking it was about 1 or 2 feet in the street. We took about 6 inches of water in the garage in the family home here. And obviously we had, ferocious rain and winds throughout the day yesterday.
So where are you now, Ben?
I'm in Barnagate Light, and from my understanding is that the only way off the island at this point is to present yourself to the police and ask to be escorted off. Thankfully, I did a lot of preparing for this, so I have a lot of food and water here, and, time is not an issue for me right now.
So
but that's where I am at this time.
You believe you're safe?
I know that I'm safe.
Have you spoken to other people in the area where you are right now?
Yes, and in fact, I wasn't even the only person on my street that decided to ride it out. There were a handful of folks around here who I've talked to today. I've also talked to municipal workers, even a U.S. Coast Guard staffer that was going through the neighborhoods, just trying to sort things out. So there were people who stayed here. Unfortunately, the reports I'm getting, and I'll let CNN independently confirm this, but what I'm hearing is that southern Long Beach Island did much worse than northern Long Beach Island. And obviously my sympathies go out to anyone on the whole eastern seaboard who was severely affected by this storm.
What was it like at the height of the storm? What did you have to do to deal with this?
Well, it wasn't, the calmest night in my life. But you just try to keep a cool head, and you get as much information as possible. I had studied what the tidal patterns were, so I knew when to expect that the water started receding, and I was very grateful to see that the water, promptly exited the first floor of the property here after high tide happened. I also, calculated when sunrise would be. We lost power at about 10:30 p.m. So you just try to stay calm, and you know that there'll be an end to it.
I know you wrote out Hurricane Irene from Long Beach Island. Compare the two.
Apples and oranges, really. This was several orders of magnitude bigger than Irene. And I watched CNN coverage, minute by minute in the lead up to the storm. So that's what I expected it will be. Those predictions were correct. One comparison, during Hurricane Irene, there was a little bit of flooding in my neighborhood, but it just, came up to the street at the end of my block. Whereas Sandy came all the way down in front of my property into my driveway and started seeping into the garage. And obviously the extreme property damage toward the southern end of the island is much, much greater than it was in Irene, as I understand it.
Ben Von Klemper, good luck, Ben. Appreciate your joining us.
Thanks so much.
And you're in the Situation Room. Happening now, the horrific aftermath of a killer storm. A New York neighborhood reduced to rubble by fire.